Well, thank you so much. I'm with Braden and Sherry. Hi, you two. You know, we decided both of you should have a microphone for a couple of reasons. First of all, we want to hear your story. And second of all, we know you like to talk, Braden. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good. In fact, we were talking, we'll get to it, but we were talking about the lacrosse loggers. And you had Children's Miracle Network Hospitals night, and you were able to do some of the announcing.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was the best one I ever did, too.
You know what? Our very own Chris Calloway, that is the loggers announcer, he's with us here in the lobby. Isn't that cool? There he is right now. He's enjoying Topper's Pizza, who provided us lunch today. And we're just about ready to jump into the Dairy Queen cake that was provided for our dessert. And by the way, we have for 2 hours the Dairy Queen staff with us, and they're answering the phones for us. The phone bank is sponsored by the Blood Center of Wisconsin.
Yeah, yeah.
So let me tell you a little something about Dairy Queen, what they have done. Dairy Queen from La Crosse on Alaska and Caledonia locations, 16 locations have raised more than $48,000 in 2015 for CM&H. Wow. Ring that bell. Okay, and you know what? After we tell your story, well, right this very minute, we're going to ask for people to call in. How would that be? Should we do that for Children's Miracle Network Hospitals? Just in case you need that number, it's 781-1477. So, Sherry, how did this story get started with Braden?
Well, he looked like a perfect baby when he was born, except for I could hear in the other room when the doctor was checking him over, his hips were making a clicking noise. So he's born with dislocated hips. So that was the first thing that I was ever told that was wrong. So he wore what was called a Pavlik harness for a few months. And then he had an ear infection, and then he got a lot of upper respiratory infections, and then he had a lacrimal probe, and then he had a hernia. His tear ducts wouldn't open, so they stuck wires down in his eyes. And then, let's see, I don't know, he had 4 sets of ear toe. He's got a Mickey button, feeding tube.
Are these related? What's going on?
Well, eventually, when we came here, we met with a geneticist who told us that all of his many different conditions that he had were all related to one thing. So he has an undiagnosed genetic disorder. He's had a lot of tests to see if they could find out what it is, but they've never had it, so we just call it Braden's Braden's disease. But anyway, it's just they figure it's mitochondrial, I think. But
Braden, does this bother you when we're talking about your health? Are you okay with that?
No, I'm totally okay. I've had a lot of stuff. I had to do it like every grade that I went to, or like if I moved, I always had to talk about my disease and stuff. And I've always had to hear at the doctor's office, so I'm pretty good about. I'm always open to talk about me. I don't really have a problem with what I had before. I just try and look in the past, just look towards the future.
Are you scared? Does the future scare you?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. How about you, Mom? Are you afraid?
Only because he's going to be 18. Well, I'm kind of a little controlling. So it seems that I've always, when I've got Heather over here help me, she's over here listening, his care coordinator. It's a lot to keep track of, all his different physicians and all of his medical problems that he's got. So the only worry I have is when he transitions over into adulthood, who's going to coordinate all the care, and will he be able to keep track of everything on his own? Who's going to run him to all his appointments? Those kind of things come to my mind because he's almost an adult.
What are all of his appointments?
He sees, well, right now he sees orthodontics, endonics, orthotics, orthopedics, cardiology, endocrinology. I'm looking family practice. Who else? I'm looking at Heather. I can't keep track.
It sounds
There's
like,
a lot of them.
It sounds like you guys are spending a lot of time at the clinic. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Have you stayed over in the hospital? Has Braden had to be hospitalized?
Oh, sure, a few times, yep. I think he told me, we just had surgery like 10 days ago on his ears. He's had surgery from everything from his eyes to his big toe. So everywhere, his head, his ears, his eyes, his jaw, his feet, his hips, his stomach,
When Children's Miracle Network jumped in, did you call them? Did they call you? How did you find out about it, and what did they do?
I think the first time we found out about it was when we came for something for school, and they were doing some testing for school. He was beginning school, and then there was something that insurance didn't pay for, and CMN, they said fill out this application, and Children's Miracle Network will pay for him to get this test done. And I can't even tell you now what test it was. He was like 3 years old, or whatever. So that was the first time I had ever heard of it, and then after that, they got me in touch with other things, like care coordinator and other CMN things that would come a need for. They just said fill out this application and maybe they can help you. So he's gotten, Braden,
iPad,
an
iPad. Let's see,
mattress, a bike.
Bike was fun. That was actually really fun.
Adaptive
You like the bike?
Yeah,
Okay.
adapted bike.
Yeah,
Tickets,
he's got kind
food,
of
vouchers,
his bones are kind of soft or whatever, so
fragile.
we didn't want him to tip over on a big bike. He wasn't coordinated enough for that, so they bought an adaptive bike for him so he could still ride a bike.
Help your stress level a little bit?
Yeah.
That helps out at home, doesn't it?
Yep.
Braden, what's that on your lap? Could that be a poem you wrote?
Yeah, this is a poem that I made.
You want to read it to us?
Yeah.
Okay.
For the CMN and stuff.
Okay, go ahead and read it to us.
In my life, there have been a lot of mom and me days. Mom and me at the clinic. Mom and me at therapy. Mom and me at the hospital. Mom and me in the car driving to any of these. Geez. I guess she waits for me a lot. Mom is a great waiter and not like Pizza Huts. And that's good because I tip in hugs. Hugs are free and they make smiles. And everyone needs one once in a while. I have given a lot of hugs in my day. There are plenty of people on my side. Lots of people who care about me. Some behind the door where Mom waits. And many of those people are great. Like Chrissy, my favorite lady in a lab coat. Or Mary Campbell, who went the extra mile to find help for my crooked smile. There's Heather, who helps Mom keep track of me. And my longtime friend, Dr. Winterstein. I love everyone at Garnison in La Crosse and at home in Prairie du Chien. I have the support of a great school. I'm blessed with my family and friends, and I have all of you who donate to CMN. I am thankful for your giving hearts and the time you took to hear my story, so I'm offering each of you a squeeze for helping sick kids and families. My mom who waits, and me. Thank you for supporting Children's Miracle Network.
All right, let's hear some bells going here. Nice. So there's 6 verses that you wrote.
Yes.
Let's ask for 6 phone calls and get the pledges in for every verse that you wrote, and you did a great job at it.
Thank you.
So how about we remind people the phone number, 781-1477, 1-800-853-6889. And we have 1 call already. Okay, so let's pull that out. Okay, so the first verse is taken care of. All right, so we're after verse 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So let's get those phones ringing right now at 781-1477. So when you sat down and wrote this poem, did you do it all at once or did it take a while to put it together?
It took a while. I had to express my feelings and talk about how much Children's Miracle Network helped and what they did for me and all my friends and all the support I got from people. And my mom waited for all my doctor appointments and all this stuff. And I tried to keep a positive feeling towards everybody. So to give
Mom, how proud are you
Real proud.
of this son
Yeah.
writing something as beautiful as that? You know you got us all teared up over here. But good job. That was really,
you.
really great. So we're going to get these phones to ring and get some pledges coming in because you never know. You never know what lies ahead of you. Have
That's
you ever
right.
had that feeling like what's going to happen tomorrow?
Sometimes. As a mom, you can't help it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, especially with Braden, because you never know from one day to the next what's gonna happen. He's kind of an oxymoron. He's always been a little different than everybody else. Things don't happen to him normally. So
Now, you
yeah.
said one of the items that CMNH helped you with was a mattress. Is it a special mattress?
But he gets bed sores easy. He's really skinny. He's weighs
Bony.
97 pounds and he's 17 years old. So yeah. So they bought a memory foam for his beds just so he had a little more cush, especially when I had a couple of his surgeries. He couldn't walk for a long time, so he kind of needed that extra cushion on the cushion.
Yeah. It was, well, I was laying in bed, and it was on my heels and my legs. That one I had, like, one of my 6 stitches, but I had to get screws, tons of screws and nails through my heel to straighten out my heel, and then I had another surgery, get them all taken out so I couldn't walk. And I had physical therapy for quite a few months at Prairie Sheen in Gunderson, and the first step I took, and I thought I almost broke my heel because it hurt so bad because I couldn't walk, so I had to get used to that. But the memory foam helped me like lay there and never hurt. It made me fall asleep easier because it was so comfy. It was really, really comfy. And they sent me home the screws that I have at home. It's all clean, all in like a little bag and stuff, so I get to see all my screws. And I don't have any now, so I'm pretty much normal. And then, well, not normal, but I had, not normal, but you know what I mean.
Don't worry, they say that about me all the time.
Yeah, right. And I had to get another surgery for an arch because I was flat foot when I was little and stuff, so I had to get an arch put in. And Dr. Winterstein, I miss her, but I seen her a few times, and she helped through my surgeries, and she can't do it anymore because her shoulder gave out, which is really sad. But every time I see her, I just give her hugs and stuff, and then they told me to stop giving people hugs and to start shaking their hand. I was like, well, I'm a hugger, and that's where the shirt came from. It says the world would have fewer haters if it had more huggers.
And you know what? With you sharing more of your story, we just took care of verse number 2 and verse number 3. We're halfway to our goal. I think that's a great goal,
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah, another one.
Another phone call. And so, the Dairy Queen team is over here answering these phones, and they're doing a terrific job at our phone bank, Blood Center of Wisconsin phone bank. The number is 781-1477, and there's quite a conversation going on around here, so I think there's some more calls coming in, but we'll let everybody know right away. So, Mom, we talked about the future, and Braden and I talked a little bit about what he might want to do. And what do you think about his future plans?
I think he would be a great motivational speaker. Everybody always says he's an inspiration, and he's always had a positive attitude, and he likes to help people. I think he'd be really good at speaking to other audiences and
I think you can do that.
Yeah.
And look at that
towards the
smile.
positive.
Yeah, absolutely. So you think something like that would be good?
Yeah. I've had a lot of people always ask me how do I have such a positive attitude with all my surgeries and all this stuff. Man, people ask me, don't you ever get worried or what's going to happen? And I say, well, not really. I have the support and family and friends and CMN helping me. And I just keep a positive smile. And if I keep positive smiles, I'll give people positive thoughts. And we can just don't look towards the past. The past already happened. It's what you do now in the future and the present to do with your life. If you stay positive, you will have a positive life.
I think you're right.
And I made it through, not to get religious here, but I made it through all my surgeries, and I know that if God didn't give up on me, then I wouldn't be still alive to keep this positive attitude. So I know he never would give up on me because I never would give up on him.
Of course
Because he
not.
helped me through he always kept me in a positive attitude. Every prayer that I made, that I hope I get through surgeries, it has shown that I have made it through, and I'm not to ever give up, never lose faith.
I just want you to keep talking because while you were doing that, we were halfway through. Okay, now we got 4 calls. Now we have 5 calls. We have 1 call remaining. So
1 call.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges. Like when you want to go to a lacrosse loggers game, are you able to get up and down the bleachers okay? I mean, how are your feet and legs working? What's going on there?
Sometimes if I walk too much, my feet kind of get sore because I kind of have fragile bones and weak bones. But if I just walk a little ways, I can get up some steps. I have to grab on the rail and stuff too. If I fall back, somebody can catch me. But they do get a little bit sore after walking quite a few distance. So I usually have to take breaks and sitting down for a while and then get back up and walk again.
Do you ever wish you could be out there playing baseball?
Oh yes, many times. That I've always wanted to play some sports. I have a lot of friends, popular friends, and they play football and soccer, and I can't do any of that because of my bones. I've always wanted to, but in B.A. Kennedy, I used to play soccer, and I had my first broken collarbone that day, and we found out I had fragile bones, and it hurt, and it split. One of them, it split, and then it was already halfway. And then I hurt it again, and the bone went under the other bone, and it had to grow all the way back up and attach itself
He's
again.
had 3 or 4 broken collarbones?
I
I
had,
a few.
3 and 1. 3 in this one in this one, and trampoline and stuff.
So knowing that your son has a passion for sports and he's not, who had to tell him that he's not going to be able to play anymore?
Wow, Braden, you're getting close.
I think you did it. I'm pretty sure you did it. I'm
made
pretty
it.
sure.
I don't know. He's just something he gradually knew, I guess.
He just gradually knew. Okay.
He does manage track.
Yes,
he likes
I
to
am
do
a
that.
track manager.
Okay. Well, you know what? I can't thank you enough for coming in. First of all, Sherry, thank you for sharing everything that you did. Braden, thank you for writing that unbelievable poem. I think you have a very bright future. I really do. And you coming in and sharing everything today, you're the man. You're the man. I appreciate that so much. So we made the phones ring. The calls are still coming in. Sherry, thanks for taking, again, part
Thank
of your
you.
day. Is there anything else you would like to add before we...
I think Dave. I think you covered it pretty good, Braden.
What about the malignant hypothermia? I wanted to talk about that, though, but I
Go
can't
right-
remember what it was. It was
It's just
about-
he has a reaction to general anesthesia, so they have to be really
Yeah,
careful.
they had surgery, and I almost died, and my mom was out there, and everybody left wondering what happened, and my mom was
Yes.
so scared holding me, and they thought I was dead, and they had to bring me back to life. They didn't know what happened.
Surgeries are kind of tricky for him. He's
Yeah.
had quite a few. But they take good care of you here because
yeah, they
they know
do.
he has it. So
You're in good
Yeah.
hands.
And I have a bracelet that has all my allergies and medicines and stuff, and what I have in. So if I ever fall out or pass out, they can read it and know what I have. I have a lot.
Well, you know what? You're a very brave young man. Very
Thank you.
brave. And Mom, so are you. You're a brave mom. Well, thank you guys so much. We'll keep in touch. Keep us
Thank you.
posted. Let us know how things are going with you. Okay? All
All
right. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Hospital Radiothon, a service of the La Crosse Radio Group.